Hey, thanks so much for hanging out.
It's all right. No
This
worries.
is so cool.
I'm running in the deep end, baby. Throw myself into whatever takes me home.
What's been happening? How have you got through COVID? And as an Australian artist, I mean, they've been struggling, all of them. How have you got through?
Yeah, it's so bizarre. The creative industry is just in turmoil at the moment. But so the live side of things, the gigs are just non-existent.
Yeah.
It's been really hard. But as far as actually still being creative, I've been really busy. I've been recording an album and working on, these releases and stuff like that. And when I was actually recording the album was just as the pandemic hit.
Right.
So my producer Stuart Stewart, who lives in Brisbane, actually just sent me a microphone and I recorded all my own vocals and acoustics and everything at home.
Really?
Yeah, for
what,
this
in the
album
wardrobe?
coming up.
Because that's that's the good way to do it, as they say.
I know, right? No. So my partner's a musician as well. So our spare bedroom is just a music. I want to call it a room, but it's just a mess. It's just guitars and merch and leads and just all kinds of stuff. So I set up. I learned how to use Logic for the first time ever. Tracked all my own stuff. Would send it back to Stuart. He'd pick the best takes. I'd call my drummer in Sydney. He would track the drums, send them over. We'd put them in, and that's how I made this record.
Wow. Was it harder this time? Because obviously your first album, which went in at number 1 on the charts.
Yes.
Was it harder this time because you couldn't just go, okay, this is the day we're going to record. Yeah. Let's go.
Yeah, it was harder. And because I love working with other musicians and being in the same room and just being creative and coming up with ideas organically, but we couldn't do that this time. So there was definitely some kind of sacrifice with that side of things. But then in the other sense, it was cool because I could actually spend as long as I wanted on the vocals and I could walk in at 10 o'clock at night if I wanted to and just track some vocals for, a ballad that needed to be kind of quiet and emotional and it had pros and cons.
Yeah. Did it doing this album and it's coming out very soon, isn't it?
Yeah, November.
Yeah, right. Was it easy to put it together in ISO? Because ISO, you've got more time. We can't go anywhere. You can't gig. Yeah. You're sitting at home. So is the release date on time, or have you brought it forward?
No, we actually ended up pushing it back.
Right.
Well, so we kind of had plans, especially for the kind of the second single, to go out a lot earlier, and just with everything just kind of got thrown up in the air, and then like confetti everyone was just waiting for it to land to see what was going to happen. Yeah. So it did get pushed back a little bit.
Wow.
But so the recording process, did stay on time, but it's more planning for the release. And normally I'd have shows, coming out my ears to release this, and I'd go in and physically shake people's hands and sell merch and all that kind of stuff. But there's none of that. So
how are you going to do that with new single and the new album out? Coming out. How can you do? Well, how can any Australian artist do that?
I know.
How can anyone do that?
Yeah, I know. Well, that's the one thing I feel grateful to live in Queensland because there are some venues that are actually opening. So there might be a venue that's stands 500 people, but they're letting 100 in seated, and there are some ways around that. So there's a couple of little opportunities, but most of it's all online, just calling people and connecting whatever way I can.
So how many virtual things have you done with your music?
I've done a couple.
Yeah,
like in
Is it easy or hard?
It's kind of hard because you finish the song and no one claps, and it's it's like, I don't know what to do now. I'm just gonna pretend that they all like it and be like, thank you very much.
You just need like a little button that's a rent a crowd, a little applause.
I know. Yes, I did something in my hometown actually in Gympie, which was like a Facebook live stream, and the only two people in the audience was my mum and grandma. They came to check it out. Yeah, and it was this, the big civic center, they, it was all the cameramen set up, perfect lighting. It was just, awesome setup. But so at the end, it was mum and grandma like, well done, darling.
Family support. Are you still based in Gympie?
Yeah, I am. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
What was it like for you knowing that the iconic Gympie muster is gone for 2020? Like,
Yeah.
because that would hit you very hard being a local Gympie and a musician.
Yeah, strange.
Yeah.
It's so strange to be like, okay, well now what do I do this week? You know.
Yeah.
And the same with the Tamworth Festival as well. That's been canned for January.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
and that would be the first time ever that it's been cancelled. So
Wow.
and it is scary seeing it kind of creep into 2021. I think a lot
Yeah.
of people kind of have this vision of like, oh, 2020, let's just get it done and it'll be all good next year. But
Put
I
up the
just get
Christmas tree
feeling-
now and just call it done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think we're gonna see it. Yeah, into the
Do
next
you
year.
think Australian music will struggle for a long time to come out of COVID?
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to say, but
Yeah.
I think, you know, a lot of the big festivals, they rely on international headliners.
Yeah.
So it's safe to say the international borders won't open for a while.
Yeah.
So that'll be tricky for sure. But on
Wow.
I mean, you know, maybe people won't have the money to buy tickets. Maybe they will absolutely love to just get out and buy tickets. It's really hard to
And I think
predict.
with the Australian artists too, I mean, the income is the concerts, the CDs, the merch and all that. And we've had a lot of Australian artists on the show, and it's so important to send that message that you might not be able to see your favourite Australian artist, but it's so important to buy the single and to buy the album and to buy the merch, because if that doesn't happen, you then disappear. So that is so important.
I would actually say, yeah, now more than ever, it's
Yeah.
the most important, because live income, you know, I could argue for most artists, that's their main source of income.
CDs are coming back.
Yes, I know, that's right. Which is
No
now
streaming.
is the perfect time to point to my online store and you can pre-order the album. And,
Go!
And yeah, I've got a whole bunch of merch online, and that's seriously like,
I'll
oh,
sit
well,
back,
let's
relax,
just-
you do it all.
Yeah. So, yeah, definitely now's the time to buy, you know, a T-shirt or something
Yeah.
from your favorite band.
Yeah.
If you can afford it, because I know a lot of people have lost their jobs, so it's a flow-on effect.
Yeah. Now November, the album, Stages.
Yes.
Tell us about it. What's the story behind the album? What are we telling?
Yeah, so I feel like I've been writing for this album forever, but it's probably been 3 years in the making, really.
What?
Since I released my first record. That was
Wow.
2017.
Yeah.
So it's gone really quick. But Stages, I decided to call it Stages because, I mean, there is a track on there called Stages, and it is quite literally about all the kind of different experiences I've been through all my life and the stages that I've been through and the phases. But I'm lucky enough to live them out on stages, you know,
Yeah.
and touring the country and that kind of thing. So, and I think, you know, whenever you listen to each song, you get a little bit of a snippet and a story of my life. And it's not all, you know, bubbly, happy, positive. There's a lot of, you know, well, there's a few songs that are like, oh, yeah, look, we're all failures. Let's just admit it now.
But
You
that's
know,
what
and-
music is. It's telling the story.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And there's some, you know, some more kind of intimate ballads and things like that. So it really is just a little Dear Diary situation.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. And the single too, Edge of the Earth.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Are you on the edge of the earth? Or what is this? Tell us the story. Because I think
Mm.
in this song, and being honest with you, not because you're in the studio, this is a killer song.
Oh,
I
thank
really
you.
like it. And I was listening to it and I was watching the video clip earlier.
Yeah.
I think you've done a Taylor Swift on us. It
Yeah.
doesn't sound very country to me.
No.
It's poppy.
Yeah, absolutely.
So,
Yeah, and I mean, I grew up listening to country music, and that's definitely my roots. But also defining what country music is these
Yeah.
days is it's so broad. And
Yeah.
I love pop music. I'm a singer-songwriter, so I mean, I don't like to put myself in a box as far as production goes. So yeah, this song is a lot more pop.
do you want to stay? Do you want to go into the pop and move out of the country, or will country always have a space for you?
Yeah, I'll always be involved in the country scene,
Yeah.
I believe. But I would love to stretch my wings and be pop as well as country. You know,
Yeah.
I think the more the merrier.
I mean, heavy metal might be next.
Yeah, look, you never know. You never know. I might lose the plot during this COVID.
Yeah, I think a lot of us have.
Yeah, absolutely.
But
yeah.
what is the story on Edge of the Earth?
Yeah, so I mean, funny enough, I wrote this song with Sarah Buckley in Byron Bay, and she's part of like a family band called the Buckleys,
Yeah.
which are amazing. And we realized we're both born in October. And, you know, I'm not a huge believer in star signs, but we're both Libras, and
Same.
we're just the same. And we're so indecisive, but also really know what we want in some aspects and all these kind of things. And we're a little bit stubborn, all, you know. And so we decided to just write this song that is quite literally about pushing the boundaries and the limits and just being young and adventurous and free-spirited
Yeah.
and just kind of in a cheeky way pushing the buttons and pushing the edge of the earth just to see how far you can go before you fall off, pretty much.
Yeah.
And that's what this song's about, yeah. And because I really, really wanted to quite literally perform on the edge of the earth for the film clip. And I got to film it in my hometown and local region at Rainbow Beach, and we found this beautiful cliff face on the Carlo Beach sand blow. And it was amazing. It was worth getting up before the sun. That was my first time.
You can see it in the video of the incredible, and we're kind of neighbours really. I was camping at Rainbow Beach a few weeks ago.
Yeah, nice.
Went to the Carlo. Yeah, and it is just the most amazing place.
It's stunning.
Yeah, it is so amazing. I believe you're going to give us a little tune.
Yeah.
Of the Edge of the Earth. Is that what we're going to sing?
Yeah, I reckon.
All right, let's have a go. Let's go.
Let's do it.
Do you need any backup dancers, backup singers or anything? Because I'm available.
Yeah, well, look, there's a few little clapping parts in there. You're welcome to jump on that
All
one.
right. Warm up the hands.
Whenever
I'm good to go. Yeah.
All right, let's do it. Make it just a little more complicated. I know I should love it, but it's overrated. I go where they tell me exactly not to go. Wake up in the morning, wanna do my own thing. Yeah, I'm happy walking all alone and boring. Going out, getting down with the crowds. I'm not into it, and I'm not gonna apologize. I'm just here trying to live my life. Ooh. So don't you bother trying to change my mind. I ain't ever gonna change my mind. Yeah, this kinda happens all the time. I'm running in the deep end, baby. Throw myself into whatever takes me home. And I'm standing on the edge of the earth. Who knows where I'm going? All I know is that I'm all in, rolling down this road. And I'm standing on the edge of the earth. I'm taking yet another step towards the edge. I wonder if I could push it just a little bit. Yeah, I've learned I can go where they tell me not to go. Yeah, I'm kinda stubborn and I run my own race. And I might be walking all alone at my pace. Yeah, I like it, it's quiet and I think I'm into it. I'm not ever gonna change my ways. Don't you bother trying to change my ways. It don't matter what you have to say. I'm running in the deep end, baby. Throw myself into whatever takes me home. And I'm standing on the edge of the earth. Who knows where I'm going? All I know is that I'm all in, rolling down this road. And I'm standing on the edge of the earth. Floating in the breeze, that's where you find me, yeah. Floating in the breeze, that's where you find me. I'm running in the deep end, baby. Throw myself into whatever takes me home. And I'm standing on the edge of the earth. Who knows where I'm going? All I know is that I'm all in, rolling down this road. And I'm standing on the edge of the earth.
Oh, how good is that?
Woohoo!
Wow, that is so good. Such a good song. Such a good song. And I love the video clip to this as well.
Yeah, it was so much fun.
We'll put up the video clip at our website too, by the way, random30.com.au. How long did it take you to film the video to that?
You know what? In a day.
Wait, what?
Yep, it was a bloody big day, but we did it in one day.
I was
all those looks.
When I was watching the video clip, I think it was in the first 20 seconds, and you had 2 wardrobe changes, and I thought, here we're going to start counting this, and I only got the 2. Well, the 2 that I could notice.
yeah, there pretty much was just the 2. Yeah. But there were quite a few different locations. Yeah, but so I got up at like 3:00 in the morning, did the hair and makeup, and got to the sand blow just before the sun was rising. And then, so as it was rising, we were shooting, and it was just beautiful, just stunning. Yeah, and then we actually travelled back to Gympie and did some shooting there in a local home, and then drove around Cedar Pocket in that beautiful car that I was really nervous to drive, but I didn't crash it.
I saw that. You're looking at the camera, looking at the driver. You know, you did it right there.
Yeah. I had a good go. It was left-hand drive as well, so it was a new experience. Yeah.
Yes, of course it was. Yeah, I've seen that. Yeah.
But so it was a big day, but we smashed it out. And I worked with Fabric Films for the first time. And they were just amazing.
Fantastic. Such a good song. Looking forward to the album coming out too. Before we let you go, can we have a little bit of fun and we play a game called the Random Five? We throw you under the bus.
Okay, all right.
It is the 5 questions. The very first thing that you think about. Are you ready?
Oh goodness!
The first one, we'll keep it easy.
Yeah,
we're going to talk about your town, Gympie.
Okay, sure.
What is something in Gympie that you would like, but it's not actually there?
Ooh, a really good Thai restaurant.
Surely there's a Thai in Gympie.
No, there's not. It's devastating.
Okay, we'll have to deal with that.
Yes,
all right.
Someone opened a Thai restaurant.
Thai. Okay.
Yeah.
What's a worst fan encounter that you've had?
Oh my goodness! Do I have to?
Because we're putting you on the spot.
Oh my goodness! I know.
You don't need to name and shame, but we just hear the story.
Well, it's probably just the kind of drunken older men that just love to get a little bit too close and the
like
sleazy stuff. Yeah, that's always
yeah. That would definitely be the worst.
The Facebook comments are not. Sometimes I just don't read them because of the comments. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's one thing that you cannot live without?
A bloody water bottle. I carry water bottles around with me all day, every day.
Really?
Yeah, because one day I might get stuck in the desert, man.
There's no desert here. Although in Gympie there's quite, depending on where you are.
Maybe. Yeah.
In ISO, what have you learnt about yourself that you don't actually like?
Oh, here we go. I love everything about myself. I love my body. I love it. I don't know. Oh, look, when I get hangry, it's not that pretty.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. But I mean, there's no excuses at home because there's endless supply of food.
Unless you can't go out.
Well, yeah, this is true. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the hangry side of me is not.
All right, the hangry. And the last thing you Googled is?
Oh, my goodness. What was it?
And please don't say yourself.
No, it was a
do
word.
You do that?
I have done sometimes, yeah. Yeah.
I think we've all done that.
It was a word. It was a word that I couldn't pronounce and I didn't understand. I just had to Google it, but I don't know what it is.
That's such a good thing.
I still can't pronounce it. So.
Yeah, I do that. Yeah. I do that quite often.
Yeah.
All right, they're the top 5.
Okay. All right. That wasn't too scary.
It wasn't too... Well, look, I could have made it worse, but I like to be kind.
Yeah, and we also, I guess, should keep it G-rated, right?
Pretty much. Yeah, kids are listening.
Yeah.
Caitlyn Shadbolt, so good to catch up with you once again. The new album is out, November Stages. Edge of the Earth is out right now. Caitlyn Shadbolt, thanks so much.
Thanks for having me. I really appreciate it. Good